and welcome to an everyday canines video. In this episode of Distance Handling 101 Foundation Skills, we're going to be looking at jump value. This time we're going to be looking at adding in a cue, a word that tells our dog to jump over a jump. I want to have a quick talk about the difference between a general drive cue and a specific obstacle cue. So my dogs all have go. And that's a general drive cue. We did that at flat work, getting the dogs to drive forward, go, go. The dogs understand that go means drive forward, but it can mean drive forward on a flat, it could be drive forward out of a tunnel, off a dog walk, and over a jump. It's a general cue, it's a bit vague. Once upon a time, we wouldn't have needed any more than that. Once upon a time you had go and then occasional obstacle cues. You wouldn't have a specific cue for a jump because you didn't need it. You said you drove your dog up the line to the next obstacle. But courses have become much more complex, and in particular judges are setting exercises where there's an awful lot more discrimination required from the dog. And when the dog's got vague cues like go, and it's a bit general and it can mean a lot of things, it can mean drive on the flat, it can mean driving out of a tunnel, but it can also mean driving over a jump. That's when mistakes creep in. To give you an example, supposing I've got a jump here and a tunnel, and my dog's coming out of another tunnel, and I want my dog to take this jump. If I just say go as they're coming out of that tunnel, then it's a relatively short distance. That dog's got to make a choice really quick. If go means you can take this jump, or it also means go, you can get out and get that tunnel, the dog's now got to make a choice. And if they haven't got the correct feedback from the handler, because if the handler's not here to tell them this is the obstacle they're going to take next, very safe chance they're going to pick up the tunnel because that's the one they're going to do. I saw this quite a lot. Recently I was at the British Agility Championships. There was a course, there was a sequence where you went tunnel to tunnel, but there was a jump, so on its side, not like this, twisted round like this, in front of those tunnels. It was very hard for even the fast handlers to get enough round to be between that jump and that tunnel. And because you're moving at speed, this is a speed stakes run, it's a golden ticket jumping run. So they're saying to the dog, go, 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 tunnel, but there's that jump in the way. And for a lot of the dogs, they saw that jump first, and the handler's the wrong side of the jump because the handler can't get there. So the decision the dog made was to come over the jump. They weren't listening to the verbal cues of what it got told. They were going, well, very often when I'm on a go cue, what it means is go to a tunnel, but also take the jump with me. Because this will happen a lot. You may have a tunnel, jump, tunnel, and you want them to do that. What would you say? Tunnel, go, tunnel. The jump's in the middle. You expect them to take it, right? So now we're in a situation where the dog thinks, well, I might have to take that jump. I do very often. And the confusion happens. There was all sorts of things happening. It was worse, I must say, for the small dogs. When you've got a small dog that's got to take more strides between obstacles, they have more chance to think about what they're going to do. With the big dogs, because of the way they were landing, they were almost on top of the tunnel already, so that was easier for them to go, oh, the tunnel's there. But the small dogs, they're running there, they're hearing tunnel, but they can also see this jump and the handler's there, and they're going, well, maybe you want that. And the amount of dogs I saw, the handler either tried to skim past the jump and get them in the tunnel, or they tried to layer it and it went wrong. So many, this was the area on that obstacle that it went wrong. How do we avoid those problems in courses where there's this discrimination? Let's not think to ourselves, well, that's a one-off. These courses are going to come more and more and more. I was at a show at the weekend and there was a 1-to-3 course and there was a lot of discrimination in that course. This is something we're going to see more and more. This is how judges are going to want to test your skills. Okay, they want to see if your dog actually knows its job or whether the dog just follows you in a circuit. So how do we work through this? The important thing now is that we start to think of the jump as an obstacle of consequence. We tend to think of it as the connecting obstacle that takes us to the dog walk, the seesaw, the other big things. And that's why we just say, go. Go and take that and get on with the next job. It becomes almost a mindless activity for the handler. We've got a line of jumps, we want the dog to get in the tunnel. So we just say, go tunnel, and assume that dog takes all those jumps. When there's discrimination involved between other obstacles or even other jumps, now we've got a problem. How we change that is that we give the jump a name. We give it a specific obstacle cue that means do this obstacle. We can still use our go cue, and I still do use my go cue. If I have a start where there's a long stretch of jumps into a tunnel, I will, or a finish, I might just say go, 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 though I'm trying to get into the habit of actually being specific and saying, I want you to take a jump, not just go, 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 But we can still have that option if we would like it and need it. But we need to have also the option of being able to specify. In the situation I was describing to you, in actual fact, having a specific word for the jump would not have helped because you actually want the dog to pick up the tunnel. So that's what I mean by specific. You want the dog to understand that unless they're told to take an obstacle, they don't take it just because it's there. And this is going to become very important, certainly at the higher levels, even the lower levels. So we're going to give this obstacle a name very early on. I'm going to use just jump. What is jump going to mean? Jump is going to mean you take off over the jump, you land long in a straight line. It's not a turning cue, that would be right or left. It's not a tight wing wrap, that's check or loop. You take off, you jump long. You're going in a straight line. Now you're going in a straight line from where you're coming. So if the dog is here, this is a straight line across here, but if the dog is over here, the straight line is a slice. And we're going there. And this for distance handlers is going to be vitally important so that you can get your dog around a course when you are not there to help them with an obstacle. Because this reaches a stage, if I've got a word for this, which is jump, and I've got a word for tunnel, if I've got them sitting there and I say jump, I expect my dog to take the jump. If I say tunnel, I expect my dog to take the tunnel. And this now opens up the possibility for distance handlers to get that discrimination on a course. Because now, if you tell your dog the correct sequence, they're going to take it. There's no grey area. There's no iffy. The dog might think I meant X. So this is why we're going to have a very specific jump cue. Now, I use jump. Could be over. Now that's quite long. It's a long word to say. Jump is quick. It could be go if you're not using go as a general drive cue, but most people are going to use go as a general drive cue, so I would say no. If you're using it as a general drive cue or any other time, if you're going to use it when they come out of a tunnel, have a specific word. So jump works well, it could be hop, it could be anything, but it should be quite short, something easy said, especially if you've got a line of jumps and you're going to have to go jump, jump, jump. That's the point where most people will go, well, now I just had my go cue back in. And you can certainly do that, but it's a good habit to get into the habit, especially as your dog gets more used to being told specifically where to go. It's a good habit to get into to actually tell them clearly, this is a jump, you've got 3 in a row, you're going to go jump, jump, jump. Because you could be in a course where you actually want the dog to do a thread on one of those, or around the back, so it could be jump, round, jump. It's good to have that clarity for the dog. So that's why I want to talk to you about words and why they're so important. Because as a distance handler, we are not going to be around to use our body to tell the dog where to go. So if we want to get around a course confidently, quickly, successfully, our dogs need to know exactly where they're going. Anytime it's vague and the dog starts to question, that loses us speed, that loses us confidence. That's the opportunity for a mistake to happen. How are we going to introduce this? This is going to be really easy to introduce this word. You've probably already figured out what we're going to do. All we're going to do is, instead of saying yes, and they go over that, we're going to give jump. And we're going to give the jump cue a little bit before they take it, because obviously in a course, we're going to be saying it before they take it. So once we know the dog is going to be going backwards and forwards happily, which we do know because they're doing it, and we've got height, because there's no point telling jump. I'm not going to tell jump on a puppy bump. That is not jumping. Now there's height, now we can add the jump cue, and it's going to be really easy to do this. So all I'm going to do is jump. Good boy. His ball's there. Jump. Did you not get it? I should have picked your ball up, shouldn't I? Jump. Going to make sure he's actually coming towards the jump. Jump. You can see he's placed his ball right there. Let me just pick the ball up. That was bad setup from your mumsy. Okay, ready? Jump. Jump. Oh, stuck on my finger. Jump. 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 Do they actually know what I'm saying at this moment? Jump. Not sure. Jump. You know, this is kind of probably just going in one ear and out the other. But we're incorporating this word. Jump. And we'll do other exercises that help to incorporate this. Jump. Okay? Jump. So this is just the early stages where we are... See, he got value for the jump. He didn't have to do that, but the jump's there, so I'm going to jump it. That's what I want. I want him to go, the jump is, I like jumping, so I'm just going to get over it. At this stage, does they really have a clue what jump means? Probably not. But we're introducing that concept of the word, and then we're going to build on that in later exercises. So now you're adding in that notion, and again, you're going to go add your distance. If you are moving up on height, you can add your height. It's all those little things. We're just adding in subtly that word, jump. Thank you. And he'll just keep jumping this back and forth all day if I let him. won't you? This is just the next stage along of that understanding, adding in the jump cue. Really easy way of adding in the word. Then we're going to add in more challenge in later exercises to really test the understanding of that word. So I hope you've enjoyed this Everyday Canines video, and if you have, you might like to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can also click on the notifications icon and make sure you know when the next videos are coming up. And you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and we've also got a website. And I hope to see you all again very, very soon.